Isaac Asimov thought of his three laws before he could even really conceptualize the idea of robotics. But he took some kind of accountability for the ethics behind what he was doing. Yeah. And you're talking about, we have all these questions that come out of all of this technology. As we race forward in technology, it raises ethical questions. Is there a need to create some kind of guiding principles as we move forward in this biology and all these other things that you're presenting and things that we're hearing here over the last few days? And if we are to create these principles to guide us, is it the role of DARPA to do these kind of things as the person on the front end of this? Or is it more natural for almost third bodies to be the counterpoint to the science?
I'll say a word about how we thought about these issues at DARPA. First of all, we found that over and over, because of our mission, we were seeing these amazingly challenging questions out beyond the laboratory stage that we were in. So we often were stumbling into these questions, we felt, before others were seeing them. And we felt that we had two responsibilities. One was to pursue this research, because our job is to prevent technological surprise and make sure that when there are surprises coming out of research, the United States and our national security capabilities, we're driving it, right? And we're not on the receiving end. So that was core to our mission, but we also felt that part of our responsibility was to shine a light on those ethical quandaries that were coming. It's not, figuring out how to do the research ethically, there are rules and guidelines, and that's very manageable. The real question is, when these become real technologies that our society is going to use, how are we going to grapple with them? And you want to ask those questions when you're still in research, right? So we put quite some effort in areas like neurotechnology, in big data and privacy, in synthetic biology, in putting together expert panels, making sure that we were communicating clearly about how we were doing our work and how we were thinking about it. So I don't think DARPA should be, I don't want to live in a society where a bunch of technologists and national security tell you how to behave ethically, but I do think it was incumbent on us to be thinking about it in our own work. And I think this comes maybe to your core question. One thing that has really struck me, having grown up in the engineering world and having been educated in that realm, is I think it's changing a little bit now, but ethics really wasn't, we didn't take a class in ethics when we were engineering students. That's starting to change. I think initially the focus is how do you build things that are safe. That's a very good place to start. But these deeper questions, I think, would be valuable to introduce to kids as they're going through the curriculum. I found it to be such a contrast with the military service members that we worked with. Military officers have ethics training as so core to what they do that they can't imagine that everyone else isn't talking about that. And it's so important for the things that they do on our behalf are force them to have to confront ethics in a very serious way. And I was always struck that they had been thinking very seriously about those things, while engineers and scientists typically aren't. So I think it's very constructive to see more of that in the research community and in technical education.